Hey everyone, I am Emma and I am a software engineer from Ukraine. Today I want to talk about the book that I finished recently. This is a book about Will Smith, and this book made me feel a big variety of vivid emotions from laughing to crying. Also, during this video we'll make homemade flatbreads with cherry tomatoes. It's the first time I'm doing them, so I'm literally excited to see the result. So, for this recipe I will need such ingredients as flat Greek yogurt, cherry tomatoes, flour, baking powder, olive oil, honey, lemon, garlic, basil and pepper. By the way, I'm using an app Kitchen Stories, but it's not an advertisement, but I found out that this app is extremely useful for me. So let's start. Our first step is to knead the dough. And yeah, I will start from peeling and thinly slicing 2 cloves of garlic. Will Smith is one of the most dynamic and globally recognized entertainment forces of our time. He's an actor, musician, producer, rapper, Grammy winner, and aka the Fresh Prince. This year, in January 2022, I found out about his own series, The Best Shape of My Life, on YouTube, in which he solved his obesity problem and also writes a book in parallel. After 3 episodes, I clearly understood that I want to read this book, and after 4 months of waiting, I finally got it in my hands. From that moment, my little bookworm adventure started. So next up, we need to put this garlic in a bowl and mix all ingredients in order to prepare dough. For this, we will need yogurt, flour, baking powder, olive oil, and salt together to form a dough. Yeah. So let's start. This is an autobiography book, which means it was written by Will with the help of Mark Manson. It utterly describes his life from childhood till adulthood. And as a matter of fact, this book is divided in 21 chapters plus epilogue, The Jump, in which Will takes us on his 50th birthday, where he did a bungee jump from a helicopter overlooking Grand Canyon with his entire family and friends watching him. This event was a culmination of him being a coward and dealing with failures and fails in his life. But let's start from the very beginning, why he was a coward and why he needed 50 years to overcome this problem. But one moment, we need to divide this dough into equal portions and roll out into flatbreads. My husband will kindly help me to take that yellow thing and roll out it here, please. Thank you so much. By the way, while I was reading this book, I also took notes. I want to read one note that I made. Living is a journey from not knowing to knowing, from not understanding to understanding, from confusion to clarity. And one more. Life is like school with one key difference. In school you get the lesson and then you take a test, but in life you get the test and it's your job to take the lesson. In my opinion, it sounds logical. Let's get back to questions. While he was a child, he lived in a toxic, abusive environment because of his father. The most traumatic moment was when he saw how his dad beat up his mother and Will didn't do anything about it. After that, he started to feel himself as a coward. All his childhood, he was trying to please his father because while father was in good mood, nothing bad could happen. And here we have 2 outcomes. First one, he felt like a coward, but the second one, he masters his sense of humor, which helped him in his future career. So I have divided flatbreads in equal parts, and now I need to preheat non-stick frying pan and bake flatbreads one after another in dry frying pan for approximately 1 minute each. I want to retell 2 stories from this book that I like the most. First one is from his childhood, when father gave an errand to build a wall, literally mixing concrete, carrying buckets and laying bricks. It must be a big wall, roughly 3.5 meters high by 6 meters long. And every day for nearly a year, Will and his brother went to father's shop and after school to work on that wall. It didn't matter if it was raining, if it was hot as hell, or if Will was sick. There were no excuses. And one day, when the boys were in bad mood, they started complaining and were grumbling that it's impossible and ridiculous thing to do. Daddy overheard that and came to them and said in the threatening way, "You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, 'I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built.' You don't start there. You say, 'I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid.' You do it every single day, and soon you have a wall." The main idea of it is divide and pair, which from Latin means divide and rule. This idea must lay down in your brain and be present in each project that you start. In cooking, in programming, in when you start a new course in Udemy, or in the study of a new field. By the way, flip them as soon as the dough takes on some color and some spots appear. In the meantime, let's mix tomatoes in a baking dish with oil, honey, garlic, salt, pepper and lemon zest. And after that, let's put cherry tomatoes to the oven on the middle rack and roast them for approx 20 minutes, until they slightly start to burst. And second story which resonated with me a lot, it fully describes how I identify myself in this world. One day, Jada and Will were on therapy session where they had an argument about priorities in life. Jada and Will were both given a sheet of paper and a pen, and the exercise was to list their priorities, ordered from the most important to the least ones. And after several minutes, they were instructed to hand their sheets to each other. So Jada had listed her priorities as the children, Will, myself, extended family and friends. And Will had written me, Jada, the children, career. And yeah, after Jada read it, she was stunned because she didn't understand why Will put himself above their children. And this is a moment where I fully support Will. I don't understand how you can put children above yourself. My point is, if you don't go to a gym, if you don't eat properly, if you don't take care of your mental and emotional condition as primary, you are not going to be a good partner or a good mother. So you take care of your partner, kids, by taking care of yourself. That's why in my list of priorities I will be on the first place. Then my husband, then extended family and friends, and then work and career, and also my hobbies. Finally, we finished with flatbreads, but we need to wait for 20 minutes for tomatoes. I will rerun you these 20 minutes. So finally, we finished with tomatoes and flatbreads. To be honest, by the end of this book, I was trying to prolong the moment of finishing it because I was enjoying it so much. And the last action with our recipe is to combine everything. So, season the remaining yogurt with salt and pepper. Then spread the yogurt over the flatbreads and next put the cherry tomatoes and fresh basil leaves on the breads. That's it, we finally did it! One moment, I want to make a bite. You don't mind? It's so hot. You know, it's so delicious. Definitely recommend to do this recipe. Yeah, I want to say that I don't regret that I did that. It's really tasty. One moment, I need to take one more bite before I finish my video. So, this book is a lot more than I have described above. After I finished this book, I made a conclusion that there is no easy way to become a successful, and each success path is hard. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for being with me. If you please share with me which book excited you the most and why. So yeah, see you in the next video and Slava Ukraini! Па-па!